of all, thank you very much for clicking on this video. I know it's not my normal content, but I really do appreciate it. And second of all, I'm sorry about the thumbnail and stuff like that, but I'm not being disingenuous there. I do believe this has some unique potential for our hobby, because this vehicle works in a way I haven't really seen a remote control vehicle work before, actually in two different ways, and we'll talk about that. But this was sent to me by a Chinese company. I will have the link down below where you can purchase one and a 10% off coupon code if you are interested in picking one up yourself. And it's, well, it's an RC car. It's really that simple. However, it's a four-wheel drive RC car, and it has a motor in every single kind of wheel axes right here. And because of that, it can do some pretty interesting things. But if that wasn't enough, it also operates in an interesting way. I should note that this does come with like a normal RC plastic remote. It was so bad, I think I accidentally threw it away in the packaging, because it was basically nothing. I wouldn't even worry about it. This is the star of the show right here, which is this kind of wristband-y thing, but the vehicle itself is also, this combination right here will lead to some very interesting things. So, the way this thing works is you put it on your hand kind of like this. There we go. And then you take this little button thing, there's a button on the end of this, and you just kind of put it on a finger, whatever finger you happen, you can adjust it. There we go, something like that. I like doing it like that so I can hit it with my thumb really easily. And then you've got the actual car thing itself. Okay, so right off the bat, this thing is going to have really annoying lights and sounds. Don't worry about that, we can fix that. There we go. This button right here turns the entire thing so it doesn't work with the motion controls, because it's motion controlled, and this one turns off that. So, yeah, now it's actually, as you can see, it's blinking. Now I can actually use it for motion controls. And it has a little, all the lights on the top of it kind of go solid. It's doing an action when it detects a motion. So you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. That is interesting to me for our hobby, because not only do you not have to use the wristband, you can just take the unit out of it and put it wherever you want to, like, say, on a blaster. You can see where this is going. You also can hold something else while having this in your hand and have it basically not impede you at all. So if I had something like a Talon Claw or something, I could very easily operate the Talon Claw, and if I wanted to, I can very easily turn this on and control the car. The other interesting thing is, I think you probably noticed the fact that it can strafe, which is not exactly a thing RC cars normally do. They kind of just go forward, backwards, and in a direction turning. This doesn't, but it does allow you to strafe left and right. The raising and lowering, you just kind of go like that. It's very easy to accidentally trip that, but you see what I'm talking about. That is incredibly useful for tactics. And so, my mind originally, when I first saw this, was, I don't want anything to do with that. It's not exactly something that I cover on my channel, but then I thought about the practical applications of having a gesture-controlled RC car that can strafe, because it's essentially four-wheel drive with these weird rubber rollers on each wheel, and I got pretty interested, and so I asked them to, yes, please, send me one. From there, it was just a matter of testing to see how well it worked off-road, and it does work pretty well. As long as it's not a soft material, this thing will drive right over pretty rough gravel, dirt, twigs, ledges. It pretty much does not care until you try to, you know, play it through soft, wet dirt or really tall grass. Then it doesn't really work at all. So if you have like somewhat of bare ground, you can use this thing off-road, and it's still pretty quick for what it is. It's a heck of a lot quicker than like the Terra Scout or anything like that, which really makes me wonder how effective this thing can be and how difficult it would be to convert this to shoot Nerf stuff. And that's where this video gets a little more interesting, because I don't think I have the intelligence to do something like that, so I'm kind of enlisting your help at this point. This is a nifty little car. If you have a kid that wants like some kind of crazy new RC car kind of thing, this isn't bad. So far it's been pretty durable. I have smashed it into a couple of things pretty hard. It's fully rechargeable. There's a rechargeable thing, the USB for the battery inside this, which I think is a NiCad battery, and then the actual watch. I have not charged it since I've gotten it. I've used it for about 2 hours now and haven't had any issues, so that's something to keep in mind. I'm sure this will last pretty much forever. But let's be frank, if we could put a Nerf blaster on this, a rather lightweight one with a rather large ammo capacity, I think we could have some magical things happen. And I'm trying to figure out an economic way of doing something like that, because while it's cool for an RC toy, it's not exactly for me. But if I could have this strafing machine that I could have in like a, backpack unit or something like that I could take off and set down and have it strafe around a corner and blindly fire darts at people, maybe with the press of a button or something like that, things would be a lot more interesting. And I like the idea of being able to use the motion controls to control it while I'm doing something else. I could have a fully automatic blaster in one hand and be controlling this one with the other, and that would be pretty damn cool in my opinion. So if I were to take something like say a D-dart and mount this on the top of the blaster, well, this weighs a little bit, but not a whole lot. It might still be able to work with that. To be perfectly honest, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't tested how much weight limit this thing can... Oh yeah, it doesn't care at all. Okay, alright. It just drove up my chest. So yeah, it's like mount one of these to the top of it with a little tiny bracket or something like that, and then how would I control this thing? And my theory was maybe I know you can use MOSFETs and stuff like that. They're like electronic triggers, so when I don't have to blow anything up and stuff like that. I'm thinking there should be a way for me to tap into the speaker, because I don't need the lights and sounds or anything like that. So this turns those on and off. I'm guessing that cuts power on and off to these things, so maybe there's a way I could hook this up to the rev trigger, and then just the flywheel, so when I press that, the flywheels turn on, and then another mechanic to make it fire. I don't know enough about, I'm hoping I can repurpose this, because I don't know enough about RC technology, and I don't want to have multiple RC, things going on. I'd rather just have this one unit. But I'm thinking there has to be a way to, make that so it fires or something, just have the thing there has to be a way I can do this without really doing a whole lot here, and I'm sure somebody else out there has got a lot of ideas for something like this, so I'm kind of curious about that. I mean, we've already got RC units in the hobby with, the Terra Scout and Terra Drone and stuff like that, so I think something like this would be kind of flippin' cool. But as an RC car, I mean, it's fun, but that's not exactly what I'm looking for. So I wanted to get some opinions on if this is possible to convert into some kind of cool off-road, war-worthy, practical, autonomous unit thing. Let me know if you have any ideas on how I can convert this to be a remote-controlled drone down in the comment section below, because I think I'm onto something, but I might need to look up how to use MOSFETs and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm Walcom S7, thank you very much for watching this video, and I do mean that because this is not my normal kind of content. It's more of a review / idea building thing, but I hope to see you in an entirely different video.